Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Mythgard in Middle-earth. My name is Corey Olson, the Tolkien professor, joined as always by my friend Gryfflet, who's, chilling here at the stairs of Orthanc with Gandalf and Treebeard. I have to admit, this is still, after many, many years, still one of like the coolest fan pleasures of Lotro is, just like a tableau like this, like there's my character hanging out with Treebeard and Gandalf, like you do. It never gets old. It never gets old. Anyway, so here we are back in Isengard. And it makes me think of the line in the book, that like where that how they're reunited in the place where they never and where never any of them wanted to come, namely Isengard, and of course Lotro gives that a new significance, right, with the whole imprisonment in Isengard plotline. Like Isengard, I escaped, I broke out of this place. Why would I have wanted to return? So the triumphant return to Isengard is especially cool. Getting to see it all wrecked, very pleasant. Anyway, okay, so I almost finished with my Isengard side quests. So I still want to do that before I talk to Gandalf here, lest something unexpected, and I don't fully remember this sequence. I've been through it once before, but I don't fully remember the sequence here. But just in case I get transported or something, I wanna finish up here first. So I'm supposed to be I've searched for orcs all over the place, but I did not get the depths. Okay, so up in the north is the one spot I seem to have missed. So let me just run over there and see what I can find. Yes, JJ, thank you. This is one of my favorite T-shirts. It is like casual day, casual Friday for the Citadel guards. Yeah, exactly. This is actually this is a Lotro shirt actually, no, it's one of my favorites. Yeah, the white tree, I feel like a white tree T-shirt is one of these really kind of pure fan signal things, right? Like it's guaranteed to get the attention of any other Tolkien fans, and okay, this is where, oh right, going down into the deeps I didn't do. Oh, that'll be cool. Anyway, where you see somebody wearing a Tree of Gondor shirt, and you just they're a Tolkien fan. Hey, I found an orc. Is that an orc? It's an orc. Better do something about that. It's a little leaky down here. I kind of thought that the actual deeps were drowned. Drowned deep. Oh man, this is a big guy. Okay, why do you stab someone with a hammer? You're doing it wrong. For crying out loud. Stop stabbing me with a hammer. I guess you could consider it like a jab in the face, which would be a perfectly legitimate move, especially when you're fighting somebody 3 feet shorter than you are. Which is harder than it sounds, by the way, in my experience. Oh man, it actually killed me. That was pretty cool. I should maybe pay more attention to what he's actually doing than to his form in future. Yeah, try that again. Oh, he stunned me before I could stun him? That was rude. Rude, I tell you. Man, this guy's like unstunnable. What's wrong with this guy? He just won't go down. Finally. Yikes. Okay, I'll pay more attention in future. Okay. Whew. Yikes. Okay. And I still have not successfully searched the depths of Isengard for orcs? That guy didn't count? I was kind of hoping that, like, the one guy even... Boy, these guys are surly, sure enough. I'm not going to fight another surly dude. Why is he glowing? Why are all these radioactive orcs down here in the deeps? I don't know how to get around here anymore. You know, now that we're all drowned deep and everything. Okay, let's see. How would I even, like, without just following the quest ring on the map slavishly, which is totally what I'm doing, how would I... Okay, wait. A few wounded orcs, but little else. Okay. So I don't actually have to fight these dudes. Okay. No problem. I mean, I know, you know, the Ents have got this. I don't feel the need to clean up myself here, you know. The Ents are going to take care of this. And they're going to keep running the river in here until this is, you know, solid water. So that'll be fine. Huh. Those are, they use the special adhesive coals, I guess, in that brazier. Thuralor, yeah, I think that must have been safety lava. I think you're right about that. Okay. So. Oh, man. Yeah, I haven't done the Wenda's Gifts thing. My biggest problem with that is that it's not... Yeah, I'd have to travel somewhere to get it. I'm trying to figure that out. I'll get there. Sooner or later, I will get there. Maybe. Uh-oh. Am I trapped? Can I get through? Okay, I can cut through this way. Oh, good. All right. Okay. Oh, I gotta go talk to Quickbeam. I forgot about that. Okay. Nope. But I am dedicated to finishing up the quests. All right, I can't get straight through the walls over here, can I? Is there a way out? Looks like there's a breach there. That would be super convenient. Okay, so let's say you say Phil Thorin's Hall in Mickle Delving. She's right near the Stable Masters. Really? Maybe I'll go on a side quest today. You guys can show me what this is all about. Oh, no, that's a dead end. Is there... Okay, yeah, breaching the wall, right? Can I get through? try this on foot. All right. Oh, yeah. This is looking promising. Oh, this is so much better than going all the way out to the gates. Oh, yeah. And here we are. Right by the swiftly flowing stream. Okay. All right. Just got to wash downstream to Treebeard here. Nice. Or Quickbeam, I meant. Of course. All right. She's in housing instances too. Okay. All right, I gotta wash downstream a little bit further here. Okay, let's see. Soft Snake GR, let me answer your question here. In Lotro, some Gondorian cities have obelisks with Egyptian influence. Does Tolkien refer to anything related to Egypt when he wrote about Gondor, or its Lotro dev's inspiration? So I believe those things are basically a nod to what Tolkien did in fact say, not about the culture of Gondor exactly. He didn't connect it to Egypt in any way, but what he did do. Now, I'm not sure which obelisks you're referring to, but I'm going to guess, this is just a guess mine, because I'm not 100% sure what you're referring to, but I'm going to guess that that these towns, towns might be a little bit more in southern Gondor. Here's the reason I say that. Remember that Tolkien did say that Gondor was situated about the latitude of Italy. Like Venice, or what did he say? Which city did he connect it with? Ravenna? I'm trying to remember which exact Italian city he said it was around the latitude of. But anyway, it's down there. So everything further south than Minas Tirith. So that was Minas Tirith. That was at about that latitude. So southern Gondor, like Dol Amroth, you're talking, it's like the latitude of Morocco. I mean, it's way down, right? I mean, it's so that there should be more kind of like Mediterranean and Middle Eastern influences from that kind of part of the world, as far as like, artistic inspiration and cultural inspiration and things. Makes all kinds of sense. Remember that. So people tend to think of Tolkien's world as more of like a northern world, including Tolkien largely when he's writing, right? So, and this is of course makes sense because with the hobbits you travel from the north places where they come from all the way down, remember, into the southern climes where he talks about sort of the climate change as they move south. And you remember, they're not. The hobbits talk about how they expected it to get, warmer and warmer as they went south. But of course, remember, for a long time they're going east, but then they do go south. And of course, there's a great deal of south further below that. Anyway, the point is that the kind of the center, the home of the story, right? The sort of I don't know what ideological center, the kind of framework, right, of the story is in the north. It is a very northerly oriented story like that. But when you're in Gondor, you're not in the north anymore. And there's more kind of cultural difference than the text of the story itself. When Tolkien is talking about his larger world building is where you see this, where you see him thinking about this. But in the story itself, the Hobbit-oriented, Hobbit-narrated story, it's the story of a northerner in a southern place, seeing some strange things that they don't that they're not familiar with, but mostly, sort of telling things from their own northern perspective. But when you get down into Gondor, you're getting into basically a sort of Mediterranean kind of culture. So it's not surprising that there should be cultural influences like that, especially since, remember, that the cities of Gondor, outside of Minas Tirith, Osgiliath, and Minas Ithil, are not Númenorian. They were, of course, connected with the Númenorians after the kingship, but they're pre-Númenorian. There was a whole population there in Gondor. The native Gondorian, your average native Gondorian, is not Númenorian at all, like not even a little bit Númenorian. The Númenorians were only just a handful of people who were, they were taken as leaders. Like they took a Númenorian for their king, in Elendil and Isildur and Inarion. And then the line of Inarion thereafter. But that was just the royal family. The rest of them are not Númenorian at all. They're locals. And so this is all part of their culture too. So I do think that when the Locho devs were developing the Gondorian cities, which I am really looking forward to seeing, as we're now here in Isengard after the battle. Now that the Battle of Helm's Deep is over, Gryfflet is totally thinking towards Gondor now. So I'm really glad to talk about this. We're going to see how close we can get to Gondor. I keep forgetting. What verb did we decide? What present participle did we decide on, Phil? We didn't go with galumphing. We went with something else, didn't we? What was it? I'm forgetting. But anyway, it will be Ravenna. Okay, it was Ravenna, Phil. That's what I thought. Gambling, that's it. Gambling, that's it. Yeah. Looking forward to gambling through Gondor for the next couple years, and looking at those cities and seeing what we think about that. But anyway, it's therefore it's totally appropriate that some kind of generally both Mediterranean and Middle Eastern influences make absolute sense within the world building. World right within the Middle Earth world there. Yeah Anyway, so okay. Ooh.
You are hasty folk.
Darum, the orcs shall not bother us again. Yeah, watch out for those ones in the basement though. They're pesky. Let the tree killer rot in his tower, or come forth and face us once more. All he has sown has been laid to waste. Now then, Gryfflet, I have one more thing to ask of you before I journey to the forest. Hey, aren't you supposed to stay here?
Home now. What business have you with the Ents?
You see, little one, I mourn for all that I have suffered at Saruman's hands. Poor Beachbone was not the first, but I hope he is the last to endure such horror. Long ago, when Saruman and his orcs first sought to cut into the forest, 3 of my Rohan friends bore the brunt of that choice. The orcs felled them all and left only the faintest debris in their wake. If Saruman is to be punished for his misdeeds, I would ask that you see what remains of my friends. O orfarne, lasamista, carne mirie. Awesome. Those are... I wasn't just reading the quest text. That's from his song. He sings his song about the Rowan trees. Quickbeam does to Merry and Pippin during the Ent Moot. And delightful that they've included that. I love it. Yeah, let's do the Rowan trees. Oof. Okay. Oh, good. We're on this bank. All right, so let's do this. Let's help Treebeard. Orafarna, lasamista, carnemirie. By the way, the one of the things that I've always loved about that line, that was one of the lines. Well, you can do this elsewhere too, but honestly, it's one of the places that helped me, I remember, as a kid, learn how to pronounce Elvish, like how the cadence was supposed to go. Tolkien's poetry is so rhythmic. He has such a good ear for the rhythm of his poetry that it just kind of guides you, you know. O ora farne lasamiste carne mirie. It's like you can't help it. Like, it's just the way it's pronounced. His poetry serves as a really good guide in that way, as I say. Come on! Oh, for crying out loud. Okay. All right, before. Let me see. I see that lore question while I look for these. Let's see. In Book 6, Chapter 5, The Steward and the King, Faramir tries to resign as steward, and Aragorn says, that office is not ended, and it shall be thine and thy heirs as long as my line shall last. But later Aragorn gave to Faramir Ithilien to be his princedom, and bade him dwell in the hills of Emin Arnon within sight of the city. What do you think he's envisioning the office of steward to mean if the steward doesn't live in the city anymore? I think that so there are two elements of the stewardship, right? One element of this, so I mean, it seems fairly clear, I think, that the office of the stewardship. Oh, look, I found a seed lying on the ground in the middle of the wasteland. Okay, all right, excellent. It's just like the proverbial needle in a haystack, but anyway, except you can't even use a magnet. So, sorry. Okay, so what was I talking about? Stewardship, right. It seems to me very likely that Mardil, the good steward, for instance, was literally the steward of the king's house. That is the one who lived in the house and kept the, kept the accounts, oversaw the household duties and things. Like, doubtless he was not just a servant. I'm not trying to suggest that, but that he had a role which was definitely one. He had a practical office, essentially, and I am sure that's the case. I mean, it sounds like that is the case, right? And then, of course, the other sort of element of his role, was to be there when, to take charge when the king went away. So in particular, when the king went off to war, right? When the king went off to war and left the city behind, then he was to rule in the king's absence, to govern in the king's absence. That, of course, is the element that becomes central when the king vanishes and the stewards then become the lords of the city. So, and I assume, therefore, that that's sort of your question. In what sense, like, how can he, is he going to commute, as JJ was suggesting, from Emin Arnon back to the city? I don't think he need do so. So it seems to me clear that when Aragorn says your office is not ended, what he is saying is that he still wants to maintain the hereditary office of steward, right? Not, I think, to act as a steward in his household in any sense, right? Such that he would have actual regular duties to perform in the city, in the household of the king, but rather the whole, like, you shall be my deputy, you shall be, like, if I believe that what this means is, you'll remember in the appendix there are references to the fact that Aragorn has to go off to war. That there's still wars that happen with the Southrons and stuff as they move forward. And Aragorn and Éomer, draw swords on multiple other occasions, right? You remember that stuff. When he does that, I feel absolutely certain when he does that, Faramir does not come, right? Faramir does not come to war. I believe that at the end of the Lord of the Rings, Faramir's life as a captain is done, as a military captain is done. When Aragorn goes off to war, he is not going to bring Faramir with him. He's going to leave Faramir behind, and Faramir is going to rule in his stead when he's away. And this, of course, is important for a couple reasons. It shows, first of all, that Aragorn is quite practical about these things. Like, he realizes there's an obvious benefit to this kind of a system. But even more than that, he also realizes Faramir's personal worth and the importance of this kind of, cultural continuity, right? He's not coming in and displacing everything. He's not in rivalry or competition with the Lord of the City, despite Denethor's fears and dreads to the contrary. Yes, he's king now, right? And he's ruling, but he's not booting out Faramir. Exactly. Before back up king steward, not make my bed steward. Exactly. That, I think, is exactly the position that Faramir is going to be. So he needs to be near the city so that he can be recalled when there is need for him to come back to the city and take up the governance of Gondor again. Not that Faramir ever actually wielded it significantly or for any prolonged period of time, but like his father, basically. So to one last thought about that. I'll give you one last thought about that in a second after I talk to Quickbeam.
Stand now and rest a while.
Ah, perhaps all is not lost then, Gryfflet. With these seeds, new life can spring forth in the valley. 2 of these seeds shall remain in my keeping, little one, and I shall return to the forest. As for Lasamista's seed, plant it at the base of Orthanc, and let us see what the tree killer thinks of that. Tarum, Saruman shall rot in his tower as the forest bursts forth around him. Love it. Love it. Of course, we're told in the book that when they return, right, in many partings in the Return of the King, they find that Treebeard will welcome them later to the Treegarth of Orthanc. So a forest is going to grow here, and so the way that they are, anticipating that by, where did I get out? There it is. Okay. The way that they're anticipating that by having us plant a tree to sort of begin the process so that when we return, which we're totally going to do, right? Many partings at some point soon leading up to the Scouring of the Shire. We're not going to neglect that, are we, Standing Stone? I know you're not planning to neglect that. But still, anyway, when we get there, it's going to be cool, right? Because we will remember having planted this tree ourselves, and that they should choose to make that tree that is being planted one of, a beech tree of, of Quickbeam's, the offspring of one of Quickbeam's slain friends. That's especially cool. I think this is an awesome quest. I like it. Okay, so my last thought there about Faramir. Some maybe would think like, well, hang on a second. I mean, that's cool having Faramir be backup king, but doesn't that kind of put him on the sidelines, right? I mean, like, he was a great captain, and the men loved him and everything. Like what I could imagine somebody feeling like a Faramir fan feeling that this kind of puts Faramir into like, which side? Where am I? Oh, over here, huh? Fine. Don't worry, Gandalf. I'm really coming back. Seriously, that it kind of puts him into a secondary status, right? In a sense. I mean, yeah, it leaves him in charge, but like he doesn't get like Éomer to like go with Aragorn and ride with the king and everything. Lest anybody think or feel that is some kind of demotion or something. Remember his determination. Remember his conversation with Éowyn in the Houses of Healing, right? Faramir is ascending, right? He is becoming a man of peace. He and Éowyn together are going to become healers and garden. Like, let us go to Ithilien and there build a garden, right? I love that line. He wants nothing more than, oh, I've got to go back again. Okay, no problem. I'm committed. Faramir wants nothing more than to retire from war. He does not love the sword for its sharpness or the arrow for its swiftness or the warrior for his glory. He doesn't seek that, right? He was committed to defending Gondor, and he did it really well. But that's no longer his role. And it seems to me like a particularly apt and wonderful thing, actually, that Aragorn permits him that. Permits him to, like, retire, basically. To be retired and stay retired. I'm trying to remember where that gap is. If only all this rubble didn't look identical now. Okay. Yeah, Druid's Fire says, I always saw Faramir as a reluctant warrior. He did his duty, but he didn't love military duty the way Boromir did. Yes, I agree. For Boromir to be forced into retirement, if Boromir had been in that role, right? The steward Mark II role, right? He would have hated it, I think. It would have been a punishment to Boromir to make him stay home from the wars and be steward, but not Faramir. And again, it's not being put on the shelf. It's not being put on the bench, right? This is what he would want. This is the best thing for him. And I love it. I love the idea of it. It just seems to me perfectly apt and just beautiful. Just beautiful. I love it. Yeah, and of course it's connected with, and I've given this speech before, but it's connected with the misunderstanding that so many people have about Éowyn and her. It bothers me a little bit. I mean, I understand, I do, and I have some sympathy with the line of thinking that leads to it. When people feel like Éowyn is being, sent back to the kitchen right after the battle, when she's all like, I shall not be a warrior anymore. I shall be a healer. I shall learn to be gentle and like feminine and stuff. But it's not about femininity. It's about exactly what Faramir was talking about himself. She is achieving healing for herself and becoming a healing to others. That's not a demotion. That's a promotion. It is growth for her. It has nothing to do with gender roles at all there. Faramir is embracing exactly the same thing. The two of them together are going to go and become gardeners and healers. That's what they're doing. And it is not in any way a demotion. Anyway. Okay. Back to Derndingle. All right, here we are in Derndingle, where I guess Quickbeam is going to be, because his Ent house was near here, because that's why they went to his house in the Ent mood. Oh, who's that? Oh, got a bunch of Ent friends here. Hey there, Quickbeam. I trust you found your...
You are a hasty foe.
Right. I trust you found your way without too much trouble, Gryfflet. We have done as much as we can at Isengard, but my attention must turn back to the forest before its upheaval can bring any more harm to it. This is an interesting move.
Let's not be hasty.
Oh dear. We gotta look for upheaval. I have not returned a moment too soon. Can you hear it, little one? These woods are angry and have been thrust into chaos in our wake. I worry for what has become of my fellow Ents' homes and what could be lurking beyond our sight. If you would search Treebeard's home, the mead to the north, and even look about the trees here in Derndingle, we can move to settle the forest once more. Okay. Oh, more?
You should not be giving your right name away like so.
If we are to reclaim this forest, it will take more than the two of us, little one. A few of my Huorns still wander these woods, yet I have not seen them in some time. I would ask that you seek them out while I continue to tend to Derndingle. One lurks to the north, another in the forest center to the west, and one off the path to the southwest. Do not fear, my Huorns are gentle, so long as you do not aim to bring them harm. Okay, not 100% sure I'm going to get back to Gandalf after all. No problem. No problem. Let's see. What am I doing? Looking about myself here. Okay, right. So I can exit to Stonedean's Broad Acres or the Eaves of Fangorn. I'm going to... Alright. First, what am I meant to do here? Just look around? I'm looking for... What is this? I'm not sure I'm going to recognize a sign of upheaval when I see it. I'm supposed to look. Okay. Look around. Look. Okay. Do I need quest text that says this would be a good place to look around? Oh no, it's one of these exact spot things. I can't get into the midst of those three trees. Maybe up from this rock? What am I supposed to be looking at? Huh. I guess. Wait, where did that quest text go that told me to look? Okay. Okay. I'm looking. Oh, look around is one word, huh? I'm looking around. No. Oh, I gotta look around when it tells me to look around. Okay, alright. Oh, phew. Okay. Honestly. Alright. I see no signs of upheaval. Not that I know what that looks like, really. But, okay. Uh-oh. I've got a blinking beacon on that tree up in the north there. Fangorn seems to be upturned in a significant way further to the north. But alright. I'm going to search for Quickbeam's Huorn. So let's do this. Okay, I think I was done with the Faramir question. Dressnake says, welcome to Derndingle Dilly Dallying, episode 1 of 50. Oh man, it's not going to take me that long, is it? What are the mobs around here? Hostile Huorns still? That would seem awkward. Whoa. This is a small-scale map. Oh, they're flies. Okay. Better go on foot here. Where's the Huorn? He's gone tree-ish. Okay. Didn't I want to put him to sleep? Oh god, the other one's over there. Okay, fine. Okay. So far I have lots of quests. Treebeard's awful, or Quickbeam's awful worried about stuff, but actually everything's fine. There's probably going to be at least one thing that's not fine, I'm assuming. Like these flies. Are they really wholesome? Oh, you're saying that's not the right one? Okay. I found the wrong... oh, dear. See, the flies are the problem. Oh, man. Killed by flies. That's horrible. Okay, where... Oh, the other one's down there. Okay. You know what? Let's go up. Let's go up to Willing Hall. And then I'll come back when I turn in if that one's, because that one's down, that one is down past him. Quickbeam, I mean. And this way, maybe I can finish his other quest and then loop back to turn it in and get that last Huorn well down there. My forlorn attempt at efficiency in the Derndingle quests. I've got a wood binder and a wood lurker. Okay. Oh, man. Alright, that's okay. Okay. Right, I know these are tree-ish slumber Huorns, not Fangorn upturn Huorns, but he seemed to be generally, Quickbeam that in, seemed to be generally concerned about upheaval and like that his Huorns needed settling down. And I found one of them asleep and the other one dead. So, like... Okay, this mead is fraught with brambles and I can faintly hear nearby chittering. Oh, that's a sign of upheaval. The chittering. And the brambles. Okay. Where else am I going now? Oh, all the way over there? Is that where Welling Hall is? Okay, I'm definitely getting my horse for that. Okay. Let's see. Hang on a second. Let me look at... my lore questions here. All right. We get another, queue up another lore question here. Okay, JJ, you had several questions. First of all, actually, JJ, let me touch first on a question that you asked a while ago, and that I kind of answered, but it was at the very tail end of a stream, and I want to kind of loop back to it a little bit. What is that, a Knickerbreaker? Ah, kind of is. Anyway, and that is your question about giant spiders. And you were asking whether or not is Tolkien responsible for spiders becoming the go-to creepy beast in fantasy settings. I spoke about this a little bit, but just to loop back for a minute. My general sense of this is that it is with spiders as with so much of the rest of fantasy. Tolkien didn't invent it. Tolkien rarely invented things. That's not like in the sense of, you know, doing something completely new that nobody had never done before. I mean, if there was any author who was less impelled, who was less motivated by that desire, that is the desire to do something completely new that had never been seen before by anybody else. I know very few writers less motivated by that than Tolkien, right? That was not at all his goal, which is good because it's not the goal that he achieved. Anyway, so he didn't invent much. There are very few things that, you know, you can be like, oh yeah, it was Tolkien who thought of that first and everybody else is just copying him. However, everybody is still nevertheless kind of copying him. So many of the things that he did and said become like part of the culture for everybody else, right? So yes, is he responsible for giant spiders? Yeah. Did he invent them? No. Was he the first one ever to have a scary spider? I am sure he wasn't. I can't think of any other scary spiders pre-Tolkien, scary giant spiders, off the top of my head. There probably are, but I can't think of any. And but nevertheless, like again, I doubt he invented it. But did he popularize it? Yeah, that's what, you know. And did he make that, you know, like so many things in Tolkien, it becomes the way everybody thinks, right? They can't help themselves. And by the way, I would say that even more prominently than giant spiders, dragons. Again, did Tolkien invent them? Obviously not. Manifestly not. But dragons were not, I mean, pre-Smaug, I think that the depiction of Smaug in The Hobbit has more influence in the modern world than people give it credit for. Dragon stories were not that popular. Like the dragon as even as like a fairy tale figure, it was not very common, like in fairy tales, for instance. I mean, read the Brothers Grimm. How many dragon stories do you find there? Not many. Anyway, it's just like, it's not... Tolkien loved dragons, and Tolkien helped bring dragons back. I don't know what the fantasy game would have been called if there had been no Tolkien. I don't think there would have been a Dungeons and Dragons had there not been Tolkien, of course. But without Smaug, I don't know what it would have been. You know, Dungeons and what, right? Oh, there are lots of dragons in early Germanic myth, Tomas. That's exactly what he loved. And that's exactly what Tolkien was kind of referring to, right? And connecting with. But not in the modern storytelling is what I mean. Like if you go back into the 19th century and early 20th century, people weren't telling stories about dragons. People tell stories about dragons all the time now, right? I mean, you think about dragons are now like the iconic fantasy creature. Right? Hence the name Dungeons and Dragons, right? That's why you refer to dragons. And the dragon has become like the symbol of fantasy worlds, right? And fantasy, it wasn't so. It wasn't so. Like that was not at all the case. Yes, of course there are some in Germanic myth. Yes, of course St. George and the Dragon is an important... All those ancient things, yeah. Like medieval stuff, sure. They loved dragons in the Middle Ages. But they hadn't loved dragons since the Middle Ages, is my point. By the time you get to, the 17th century, we don't talk about dragons. much anymore. Sometimes symbolically. Of course, there are many times when Christian writers will still, because of the Satan as dragon image from Revelation and stuff like that, you will still get dragon imagery used in an explicitly spiritual context, but not for like storytelling, not in fantasy stories and stuff. And I am talking about Western stories, JJ, definitely. Anyway, so Tolkien brought it back, and I there's no doubt in my mind that if it were not for Smaug, the dragon would not at all have anything like the stat. People would have heard of dragons, right? You know, those who, you know, were at all familiar with Germanic myth and things like that would have heard of dragons. But they would not have, they wouldn't have done anything else, right? I mean, they wouldn't, it would not be the iconic center of things. Sorry, just enjoying Welling Hall, standing on the table, you know, because I'm a hobbit and that's what you're supposed to do in Welling Hall. I don't think I've ever been here before. What's this? Is that a bed? Doesn't that look like a bed? Why is there a bed here? I mean, Treebeard doesn't lie down to sleep. Yeah, I can't drink the Ent draft because, first of all, I don't think you can store that stuff. By the way, how gorgeous is that? Look at that. Oh man. Am I looking out at the dawn? I am. I'm looking out at dawn breaking over Isengard. It's like Henneth Anun backwards. I'm looking east towards the dawn through the waterfall at Welling Hall. That is beautiful. With the stream winding away and reflecting the sky. Yeah, Dressnake, you're right. And it's the inviting pool instead of the forbidden pool. Absolutely. Okay, sorry. Okay, where's Quickbeam's house? Where am I going next? Okay, I'm supposed to go back to Quickbeam. Great. I can do that. He does lie down to prevent the drink from going to his head and sending him to sleep. But would he have a bed made up for that purpose? I mean, does he do that all the time? Like that? Like it looks kind of like a sleeping bed. Maybe he has a thinking bed? I don't know. It's a thinking couch. Okay. I can buy it. I can buy it. Now, I know he does lie down when he's talking to the hobbits. Maybe it's a conversation couch. Huh? Yeah. Though I doubt he would have designed one for talking to hobbits. But maybe he has other guests that he needs to lie down while he speaks to them. And you're right, it is described. I'd forgotten that description. Yeah, you're right. They're following what's in the text. I guess so. That's it. Let's call it Treebeard's conversation couch. That works for me. Oh, there are slugs here too? I had forgotten that line. That's excellent. Yes. The bed is described in the book. See, it just goes to show you. The Standing Stone folks are so dependable. If it's in the text, it's in the game almost every time. But that doesn't necessarily mean if it's in the game, it's in the text, of course. But that's okay. But anyway, yeah. No, his conversation couch. Must be it. That must be it. Okay. What was I talking about? I was talking about something. I have that feeling I get when I stop in the midst of pontificating about something. And now I can't remember what it was. Before I was arrested by the view from out Wellinghall, it was... Okay, I'm going to go down here. I'm going to catch that other Huorn. Dragons, that is what I was talking about. Okay, no, I think I was pretty much done with that. My point is just to finish responding to JJ's spider question. That, yeah, I think that it was Tolkien who made the spider into the go-to creepy fantasy creature, just as it was Tolkien who made the dragon into the go-to fantasy creature, period. Hi, Huorn, ally of Trickbeam. How can I quit Trickbeam? That's his shady cousin. The Huorn does not respond to your approach. Okay. Well, as Quickbeam sent me to... I guess that's Treebeard and Quickbeam combined, isn't it? Trickbeam. But don't... Off he goes. Right over top of me. R.I.P. Gryfflet, trampled to death by the Huorn who is wandering his way towards Derndingle. Except you're going the wrong way. That's okay. I'm sure that Huorn knows where he's going. I won't worry about him. Yeah. Now, Trickbeam is a shady character. I don't think you want to meet him. Yeah. He's like the Ent they don't invite to the... Oh, but I guess that Huorn knew what he was doing, because you can't go this way. It's a solid wall of trees. Okay. Should have just followed the Huorn in the first place. Yeah, Phil, I have to admit, I got a sudden panicked feeling that I was going to have to escort that Huorn all the way to Derndingle and keep it alive. Because we all know how that story ends, don't we? But anyway, yeah, no, it's good. Perfectly capable. Though these flies did kill that other one, so, I guess I shouldn't, make rash assumptions. It is safer if Gryfflet isn't protecting it. I agree. Whoop. Okay. That was a cliff, I guess. Okay. Oh, here's the road. Okay. All right. And as we limp back into Derndingle. Okay. All right. Very good. Okay, Quickbeam. These were not the most momentous quests I've ever been on, but I loved seeing Wellinghall. I am saddened to hear that 2 more of my friends have fallen silent, but I am grateful to see this dear Huorn once more. I only wish I could have returned sooner to help them. He has long wandered these woods, and we have known each other well in our time. I can trust him, as I am now sure I can trust you. I feel like Quickbeam's an old friend, but of course Gryfflet has not interacted with him very much. These are not good tidings. I am thankful that Derndingle is free of threats, for we can begin our task of reclaiming the forest from this very spot. However, the wood trolls concern me greatly, and to hear chittering at such a distance leads me to think the insects have grown beyond our control. I must think on what we are to do next, little one. Okay. Woo! Nice. What are we, 97 now? Okay, still not time to... Maybe I'll cap at 98 or something like that. All right.
Home now. What business have you with the Ents?
Ah, little one, I think the time has come to conclude what we began at Isengard. I hold in my hand the seeds of Orofarne and Carnamirie, my beautiful Rohan friends. I wish to plant them here, closer to my home, so the brilliance of their descendants might match the grace they once possessed. I would ask you to travel north to plant them to the easeful mead. Although the land nearby has been scarred by brambles, I can think of no better place for them to take root. Okay. Clear brambles. Plant the trees up in the easeful mead. Will do. Maybe I can war steed up there. That would be intrepid. I'll put on my invisibility hat so that I don't have to worry about the flies. Okay. As long as I don't run into Quickbeam. Nobody wants that. Okay. Yeah. JJ, do I think that Treebeard would approve of the Exploring the Lord of the Rings pace? Might he still find it? I can't remember to jump over this one this time. Over we go. There we go. Oh. Missed the brambles. Got brambles right there. Yeah, no, I think he would. Would he still find it hasty? I don't doubt. I mean, it's only going to take what, like 30 years? You know, what is that to an Ent? But I don't know. I think qua human activity, we might earn even Treebeard's respect. Okay. All right, let me get another lore question here. There was another one. Oh yeah, JJ, another one you asked before. The East, and especially the East Wind, is associated with evil, particularly in Gondor, with Mordor to their immediate east. Is there any mythic significance to the sun rising in the east and further east than Mordor? No. I don't know of any. And actually, that, to me, is a really interesting thing in general. There is very little connection. There is very little in the way of mythic treatment of the sun in Middle-earth. Which is really interesting. It gets some. I mean, you know, there's Anarion and Minas Anor, right? You know, so you got Minas Anor and Minas Ithil. But, wait, there's another... I'm missing a bramble. Oh, wait, there. But very little, comparatively little, let me say it that way. Comparatively little work is done, mythic work is done with the sun. We don't see it deployed as a symbol very often. Stars, yes. Moon, yes. The sun, much less so. And in some ways, I think it has to do with, or is sort of, it reflects the elf-ocentric sort of worldview of Middle-earth. I mean, it's always been, in Tolkien's imagination, sort of elf-focused. But the sun is associated with men, right? The humans awoke at the rising of the sun. And it seems like that might get used more. Oops. I totally hit the wrong button. That was funny. I missed the space bar. Like you do. It's such a small key and so out of the way. But anyway, help. Oh dear. Okay. But yeah, the sun gets very little play, mythically speaking, and symbolically speaking, in Middle-earth. And so therefore, JJ, I have a hard time thinking of many examples of them thinking about the rising sun and laying any mythic significance to the rising sun. I mean, it's interesting because it's even there. I mean, if you think about Sam's star moment, right? His moment of Estel there in Mordor. You'd think that an even kind of bigger and more obvious sort of example would be when the Black Land lies to the east and then the sun rises further east, right? Just as you say. But that doesn't ever seem to be used in that kind of symbolic way anywhere in the story. So I think that's interesting. Of course, the rising of the sun was important during the Battle of Helm's Deep. That's true, likely about. The dawn has significance in that way, and day shall come again, and all that, right? I mean, that idea of day versus night is sometimes important, mythically and symbolically. I mean, the sun itself as a kind of symbol. And the way, for instance, let me give an illustration of exactly what I'm talking about and why I think its absence in Middle-earth is interesting and kind of conspicuous in its way. The way that both the sun itself and the rising of the sun is used symbolically in Christian liturgy. All medieval cathedrals face east, like the altar when you're facing the altar, you're facing east, and the front doors of a cathedral, they call that face of the cathedral the westworks because it's always to the west. Cathedrals are always oriented towards the rising sun because the rising sun is taken as a symbol, right? The rising of the sun mythically evokes the rising of Jesus and the resurrection of Jesus. And so in medieval Christendom, you have that they didn't use like the sun disk as a symbol, like as a religious symbol itself. But the rising of the sun was of very great symbolic and mythic significance within the medieval Christian context. The medieval Christian context that Tolkien knew very well and loved very much. And yet we never see that. His world is faced resolutely westward towards Valinor, right? Towards the west that was. So yeah, setting sun from Heneth-Anun, right? We rise before dinner and face west. We don't rise and face east. Of course, you don't want to face Mordor. But again, JJ, as you point out, we could be facing past Mordor, right? Like it would be, one could imagine, certainly, a kind of mythos or even symbolic remembrance, which says, forget Mordor. Let's think about the rising sun. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, Phil, exactly. Your local parish church is 1,000 years old and it's oriented east-west. They all were. All of them. Yes. Almost every church built in the Middle Ages is oriented east-west. Anyhow, that's it is interesting to me that we don't see that, but I can't remember a single instance of the rising sun or the rising of the sun being given that kind of mythic significance anywhere in Tolkien's writings. Again, it's a world that faces west. When you're looking for good things, it faces west, and it faces backwards, right? Yeah. Okay. There we go. You have done me a great honor. Although my Rohan friends are gone, their sacrifice will give way to new life in the forest. In time, I am certain I shall look upon their descendants with the same fondness I once held for them. Tarum, we shall reclaim the forest yet. You have done much to earn my trust, Gryfflet. Times are truly different from when we met in Nan Kuranir, but protecting the forest from itself is another matter entirely. To keep the tree killer from causing more harm, we were forced to take action, but the cost was great to all. We Ents are responsible for maintaining order, and without us to tend the Huorns and boglurkers, some have grown wild and confused. My Huorn friend you found shall be your companion, and so you may seek out the troubles in the forest before they find us. Oh, man. I thought I was done, but I'm not done. Forest without frontiers. Okay. Explore and protect the entire... Holy cow! Are you kidding me right now? Okay. Oh. You have another quest? Yes, you do. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh. Okay. I'm committed to the cause.
Let's not be hasty.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm not going to repeat them. But, all right, I've planted a seed for my fallen friend Carnamirie. He used to wander the forest, checking the soil to ensure the trees had what they needed to grow. I wish to bring the soils of the forest to his seed. Okay. Gather clumps of sandy soil. Oh my goodness. Take this as seriously as you took Hootbold. Hey, I did it. I did Hootbold. It's the Entwood. Were you expecting a hasty quest line? I suppose I was. Okay.
You should not be giving your right name away like so.
Saruman has destroyed much of Fangorn. Even now, the remnants of his forces still operate a mill, chopping and cutting more of my friends. I dare not approach, for it would quickly destroy me. What? Well, oh, the chopping mill? But you are not made of wood, and saws should not hurt you. I won't burst Quickbeam's bubble on that question. You will show me how to reach Derndingle? Okay. These are separate instances?
Home now. What business have you with the Ents?
Yeah, how much longer will Gandalf's beard be by the time I get back to him? Pretty long, it looks like. Okay, I did not foresee this whole Fangorn thing coming. Okay, no problem. There are some places where Isengard still stands that we cannot reach. What? Gimminstead. Okay. Or Ymunstead, probably, right? Ymunstead, a small library of ancient men, is one of those places. Hey! Great! Okay. Destroy the White Hand? End the influence? Great. Okay. Good, good. Quieting north of Derndingle. When we march to Isengard. The forest was awoken. It is very angry with the actions of the wizard we trusted. Too angry, I cannot calm it myself. Tend the forest north of Derndingle. Okay, no, it's not an instance. Stangraf.
Now, what business have you with the
Isengard wanes, but there are still small pockets Saruman can use to rebuild. One is Stangraf, a mine. I cannot enter there myself, but you are small. Okay, I like that better. I am both small and impervious to saws. Defeat the new occupants within the mine. When you are ready, I will show you where these caves can be found. Great. Okay. All right, so we got... oh, well, that's a little better. What happened to all those other circles? Okay, those quest rings were freaking me out for a minute there. So, okay. All right, let's do the landscape ones first. Come, my Huorn friend. Oh, you're going to be fun to pal around with. Yeah. Blocking my entire screen. Lovely. Lovely. Oh yeah, JJ, you're recommending we try some experiments on imperviousness to saws. Yeah, let's maybe not do that. Okay. What am I doing over here? This is the quieting. Leaf piles are smothering the undergrowth. Film at 11. Okay. Seriously? Dispersing leaf piles? There's like the mold of you know, millennia here in this forest. They're bothered by a leaf pile? Okay. All right. Setting... bringing peace to Fangorn. I have to admit, I had no suspicion would involve raking. That seems unexpected. Okay. Okay, what I don't understand though, what are those red rings? Not where I'm supposed to bury Carnimiri, eh? Okay. No idea. Okay. I am easing the yeah, I already knew that. About the distressing leaf piles. I mean, this is urgent. Hey, this is it. When I see leaf piles, you know what I think? There's an upset forest, you know? Like this forest needs calming down. Oh. What is it? Oh, okay. I've encountered a young Huorn, and your companion swiftly shuffles to its side as if to defend it. You cannot quite tell, but Quickbeam's Huorn appears to be upset that it has been left to fend for itself. Oh, I'm gonna... Okay. Where is it? Find lost Huorns? Seriously, I feel like I'm in a Lassie episode, except with a tree. What is it, boy? What is it, girl? What are you trying to tell us? I don't see a young Huorn. Okay. I can't see anything. Okay. Oh, there's one. There's one. Beckoning. All right. Okay. Oh, they're all following. This is adorable. This is adorable, and I love it. Okay. With the forest following behind me, maybe I can go from the side. Except I can't see where I'm going. Oh well. All right. Oh, okay. There. Oh, good. More specific rings. That's just what I'm hoping for. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. There's a lost Huorn. There it is. All right. This is fun. Okay. Good. I have to steer entirely by the map now, as I can see nothing at all. Okay. Here we go. Is that a cliff? This looks like a cliff. Oh dear. I gotta go around. Yeah, I think we're gonna recreate. Oh, you've got another one for me? Where are you? Great. He's trying to get my attention. Maybe he's trying to draw my attention to the fact that he's lost. Oh, there he is. Hey, didn't you have a quest or something? No? You only had a quest over here. When I went over here, but you weren't. Okay, now you're ready to talk. Okay. As you wander through the middle of Fangorn Forest, you notice Quickbeam's horn picking up small objects from the ground nearby and stowing them on itself. What is it using? Its roots or its branches? Upon closer inspection, you notice it has been gathering seed pods, especially those that have fallen into the shadows. Okay, we're gathering seed pods. Yeah, I know. I know. It could. Oh, right. The whistle quest is long since been bumped by all the hundreds of other quests. Oh wait, there's more. It begins to swat its branches at the wood flies. Now we're supposed to defeat wood flies. Okay, I guess that was just a matter of time. Come on. I can't face the target because I can't see anything when I'm facing that target. Okay. Okay, so I got 12 seed pods, one more lost Huorn, and good grief. Okay, I think the other lost Huorn is in this direction. Let's, by all means, deliver those Huorns first. Picking up seeds is like picking up hobbits. Well, yeah. Oh, there he is. But Treebeard has hands. I'm not convinced that Huorns do. Okay. Hey, where'd the others go? Oh, wait. Am I being attacked by something? Is it a fly, I hope? I seem to have lost it. Except I'm still in combat. Okay, here, let's return the other Huorns. Let's bring Great Burnham Wood down into Derndingle here. Where'd they go? I still get credit for bringing them down when I get here. I'm in Derndingle. forest is safer.
You are hasty folk.
Okay. Very good. Uh-oh. In need of tending. Oh, no. Oh, no. Now the Huorns are really lost. No, I can't blow the whistle. I've already got that guy. Or is... No, that's a different guy? Okay, no. That worked? I'm so confused. Oh, but good. I finished it. Oh, good. Okay.
You are far from home.
You have done well to bring these young ones to me. I shall look after them, for such a role is not new to me. Or any Ent, for that matter. That's good. Okay. Phew, I was panicking there. Okay, all right. Ooh, have I lost my Huorn companion? That's handy. Now I can see again. Okay. Seed gathering, fly killing, and then the 3 instances. Oh, man. Okay. One more lore question, then I've got to go. Okay, Tony was asking, why did Bilbo use the specific phrase, struck by lightning, when he has his fit of terror during the unexpected party? I get why he might freak out, but why that particular choice of words, which doesn't seem relevant to the subject matter of the conversation? Great question. That's a question that I had for a really long time. I don't think I have the definitive answer, but I feel like I understand it a lot better now. So first, there's a plain sort of figurative, not symbolic, but figurative relevance of it, right? I mean, struck by lightning not only evokes, the sudden, the danger and terror, the terror that he is in, and his sense of imminent peril and, scary things happening and all that sort of thing. It's not just that. It, of course, is like something sudden and this sudden strike, this sudden bolt, which certainly this whole unexpected party day has obviously been for Bilbo. So there's a certain fitness to it in that sense, I think. But more. He's also referring explicitly to what just happened. And this is the thing I never noticed. It always took me a long time to notice. And that is Gandalf has just let a light from his staff, that like a bright blue light has just come from Gandalf's wand, from Gandalf's staff. So he's alluding to the light from Gandalf's staff, which has just lit up the room, which looks like lightning to him, clearly. So it seems to me that it's ironically Gandalf's own magic which triggers that reaction in Bilbo. And again, that seems to me to fit that same kind of figurative significance that I was talking about before, because of course it is all Gandalf's fault, isn't it? I mean, this whole just as the sudden light from Gandalf's staff
makes Bilbo think of lightning and lightning strikes, and sets his already extremely taut nerves to jangling there in that moment when he freaks out. It's Gandalf. Gandalf is the one who organized the unexpected party, right? Who brought the dwarves down upon him. It is Gandalf who has, stricken him as by lightning. So figuratively, it works well too. But yeah, no, exactly, Druid's Fire. I blame Gandalf. It's pretty clear. But this is something that it's kind of easy to overlook, I think. That the whole blue light from Gandalf's staff thing. But I'm pretty sure that that's what he's actually referring to and why he talks about lightning strikes. Okay. I've got 5 more flies. If I do a fly a minute. JJ, you were asking last time, I think, would the Rohirrim have used plate armor? No. I can't imagine they would, and there are several reasons why I don't think that they would. First of all, they're not... Now, Tolkien doesn't do a lot of mere description, not of people, anyway. So, he's not very likely to give you a full detailed description of their armor that would really kind of sort of obviously decide this one way or the other. But I think of the Knights of Dol Amroth. The Knights of Dol Amroth clearly are wearing plate mail, but I believe that the Rohirrim are not. I think that they are more lightly armored. Of course, there's another reason why I think this, apart from my general impression, is cultural. Now, keep in mind, Tolkien says the Rohirrim have nothing to do with the Anglo-Saxons. Not true at all. It's just completely untrue. But absolutely, there's no connection. But despite the total and manifest lack of connection between the Rohirrim and the Anglo-Saxons, the Anglo-Saxons didn't wear plate mail, and so I do think that they were meant to be very similar, apart from the horse thing, right? So I have a very, very difficult time imagining the Rohirrim in plate mail. But nor, I think, are their horses... do their horses use plate armor barding either? I don't see that. Knights of Dol Amroth, the Swan Knights of Dol Amroth, yeah, absolutely. Again, yes on both counts there. But again, it's more of an impression, and not just an impression. Remember the bright, burnished vambrace that Imrahil holds hey, my 12th fly holds up to show Eowyn's breathing. That's I think he's in plate mail, but I don't think that Éomer is. Okay, no more flies. Just seed pods from here. Maybe I can finish seed pods and the flies. Okay. And then last lore question. I'm ripping through the lore questions today. Last lore question. Tony was asking, the Hornburg is the word that the Rohirrim use for that. Who's attacking me? Hello? Oh, it must be a boglarker. Where? Or a root? Is that you, Mr. Root? You seem agitated. Do I have a quest for roots? Am I meant to get a quest for roots? Drawn to the water. Yeah. Yes, I am going to get a root quest. It's going to be a... Looks like there's been a root awakening. Yeah, I think so. Where are all the seed pods? There's one. Back in the land of seed pods. I know I need to talk to the Huorn to get the quest. Oh well, it's hopeless. Let's just go ahead and do that. Let's see, where's the my Fangorn quest? Yes, I am. Okay, there it is. All right. Quickbeam's Huorn seems pleased that you have made an effort to rid the forest of disease-laden wood flies. You slew many of their number, and judging by numerous crushed wings stuck to the Huorn's branches, so did it. Oh, that's where you were. That's what you were off doing. Okay. I don't. Oh, I need inventory room. Oh, good grief. What's going on here? Inventory. Yikes. Okay. Sure. Oh, so I've got to click on these leaves? Right. And now I can't. I got to ditch something. What do I ditch? No, not a scroll of perfect crafting lore. Those are handy. Mark acquisition? Dude, I've got inventory issues. Serious inventory issues, which must be redressed. Oh, man. Hang on, I know what to do. I need to equip this. Which, I got all kinds of problems. Okay, so I'm gonna equip this here. Then I can ditch that. Yes. Okay. See, I just cleared some spot in my inventory, but I didn't anticipate these leaves filling it up. I thought they'd go straight to my wallet. Okay. See, I would have thought, right, that was plenty. Okay. More leaves. Completed drawn to the water? Oh, maybe I don't get a root quest. Unless he has a quest ring that I can't see. Does he? I don't think so. Nope. Okay. So, seed pods. Fine. Okay. Oh no, the quest rings are back. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. Have I bought all available inventory space? See, Freethinker, I haven't spent money on inventory. I've spent a lot of money on vault space, but I haven't spent any money on inventory space, mostly because I feel like that's a fool's errand. No matter how many inventory slots I have, I am a big enough pack rat that I will fill them up with junk. So it doesn't matter how many inventory slots I have. It really doesn't. Okay, but I have to go. All right, so we will leave it here. We shall apparently be in Fangorn for the next, what was it? 49 weeks? Wasn't that the prediction there? I will, because I got to help Treebeard. We got to help Fangorn. We can't leave Fangorn in disarray behind us as we head south. So, yeah, absolutely. We're gonna Derndingle dilly-dallying part 2 next time. And we'll see how far we can get towards the pacification of Fangorn, and then maybe we will return to Gandalf and Treebeard by Orthanc and continue the epic quest line. But here I had been complaining that I had not had many side quests, and I have paid for that request. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being with me here today. Next week, I will also be here. So I look forward to seeing you guys again next week. Thanks now, everybody. Bye. Thanks for joining in on my rambles around Standing Stone's brilliant digital adaptation of Tolkien's world. If you enjoy these adventures, please consider supporting this and other entertaining educational programming by donating at signumuniversity.org/fund.